Today, we're going inside one of the most magnificent and, for a long time, most mysterious places on Earth. Think about this. For 500 years, this was the most exclusive address on the entire planet. A massive city at the very heart of an empire, completely sealed off from the outside world. So yeah, this is the story of the Forbidden City. And we're going to go right inside its walls to uncover some of its biggest secrets. So the big question is, why was it forbidden? What does that really mean? We're going to explore that and what it must have been like to live in a world where one man's home was considered the absolute center of the universe. And just to give you a sense of its sheer scale, get this. Today, its real estate value is estimated at around 70 billion US dollars. That makes it the most valuable palace anywhere in the world. But its historical value? Well, that's just priceless. So first things first, let's talk about that incredible name. Where does it even come from? Let's break it down. In Chinese, the name is Zijingcheng, and each character tells part of the story. Z means purple. This isn't just any color. It's a reference to the North Star, which Chinese astronomers saw as the home of the celestial emperor. So the palace on Earth was its direct counterpart. Jin means forbidden, because for any commoner, trying to get in was forbidden on pain of death. Simple as that. And Cheng means city, because, well, it really was a city all on its own. So you put it all together, purple, forbidden, city. It's a name that perfectly captures both its cosmic importance and its absolute total exclusivity. And you know, that sense of power wasn't just in the name. It was literally built into the very bones of the palace. This wasn't just a home. It was an architectural statement, a blueprint designed to project the emperor's supreme authority over everything. Just take a look at this map. It's a perfect rectangle, a clear symbol of order and control, and it covers a staggering 178 acres. It was built to be the exact center of Beijing, which in turn was considered the center of the world. Everything is perfectly aligned along a central north-south axis, reflecting a perfectly ordered universe with the emperor right at its core. The city is basically split into two distinct parts. You have the outer court in the south, which was the grand public stage for all the big state ceremonies. We're talking coronations, imperial weddings, that kind of thing. But the inner court to the north, that was the private world of the emperor and his family. And that was the real heart of political power, where the day-to-day business of running an empire actually happened. And here it is, the centerpiece of that public stage, the Hall of Supreme Harmony. This thing is the largest wooden structure in China, sitting on this massive three-tiered marble terrace. This is where the emperor would sit on the dragon throne, the symbolic heart of the entire nation. Okay, so we've seen the ceremonial stage. Now let's step behind the curtain and go into the emperor's private world, the inner court. At the very heart of the inner court are three main palaces, and each one is just loaded with symbolic meaning. The emperor, who represented the heavens, or yang, lived in the palace of heavenly purity. The empress, representing the earth, or yin, lived in the palace of earthly tranquility. And sitting right between them was the Hall of Union, where these two cosmic forces, yin and yang, were meant to mix and create harmony for the whole empire. So this is a really crucial point. While the Hall of Supreme Harmony had that grand ceremonial throne for big occasions, this throne, right here in the Palace of Heavenly Purity, this is where the emperor actually worked. This was his audience hall, the real nerve center of the Chinese government for centuries. Of course, these buildings weren't just symbolic spaces. They were the stage for 5 centuries of incredible history, just full of creation, conflict, and massive change. Let's do a quick run-through of that history. It all kicks off in 1420, when the Ming dynasty finishes construction. Then, in 1644, the Manchus take over, starting the Qing dynasty. Fast forward a few centuries to 1912, and the last emperor, Puyi, abdicates, bringing the whole age of emperors to a close. Just over a decade later, in 1925, the once forbidden palace opens its gates to the public for the first time. And finally, in 1987, its global importance is recognized when it becomes a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And that brings us to its modern story, its incredible transformation from the private domain of one man to a global cultural icon that belongs to everyone. Just let this sink in. For 500 years, this entire city was the home of just 24 men, 14 emperors from the Ming dynasty and 10 from the Qing. Their word was law. And this palace was their entire world. And now, look at this. The contrast is just unbelievable. Today, those same courtyards welcome over 19 million people every single year. The world's most exclusive address has become the world's most visited palace. It's an absolutely stunning reversal. These numbers really help put its modern scale into perspective. While legend says there are 9,999 rooms, the official count is still a mind-boggling 8,886. All of that is spread across those 178 acres we talked about, and it's now experienced by 19 million people a year. Just incredible. Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. This palace was built as the ultimate symbol of one person's absolute, divinely approved power. And now, it belongs to everyone. So what does it represent today? Is it a monument to a bygone era of autocracy? Or is it a proud symbol of China's enduring cultural legacy? Maybe it's both. A place that was once forbidden now invites the world to come in, to marvel, to learn, and to reflect.